It's Friday night and I want to play some poker, so where are we going to go? The Wynn. I've been playing a ton during the week. The games have been pretty soft, so I'm excited to see what they got going down on a Friday night. Here's the hands I played from this session on a Friday. Did I make a massive mistake in this hand? We're in the big blind. We got ace-jack offsuit. It gets raised to 15 under the gun. The button calls, small blind calls. I don't want to play this hand out of position four ways. I decide to raise it up to 80. The original raiser folds, but the other two players call. The button's in the hand and the small blind. We got a lot of money in the middle headed to the flop. The flop comes queen, eight, deuce, all clubs. We flop a jack high flush draw and a backdoor straight draw. Small blind checks. I bet for 75 on the flop, seeing if I can get my opponents to fold for cheap. The button makes the call. Small blind folds. We're now going to a turn card heads up. The turn comes the king of diamonds. We now have a gut shot Broadway draw with the 10. We still have the jack high flush draw. I'm going to continue and see if I can get my opponent to bluff. I think he's probably got a queen. Maybe he's got the ace of clubs. I bet for 220 on the turn. My opponent thinks for about a minute, and he puts me all in. Now I'm thinking to myself, I definitely have the worst of it right now. I can't call off for all my chips, but I want to see this river card so badly. I went into the tank and eventually talked to my opponent, got a live read, folded my cards. I thought he was a lot weaker than he actually was. He flopped a set and slow played the queen's pre-flop by not re-raising. Did I get the max value in this hand? We're on the button. We got king, queen offsuit. There's a couple limpers in front of me. I up my sizing for my pre-flop raise up to 35. One of the limpers folds, one of them continues. We're headed to a flop heads up. We got position. It's a great flop for my hand. King, queen, 9 with 2 clubs. We flop top 2. My opponent checks. I bet $25 on the flop, thinking he probably hit something. I want to keep him in the hand. He decides to raise to $100. I obviously make the call. We're headed to a turn card. It's the deuce of diamonds. That brings a second flush draw to the board. My opponent bets $100 on the turn card. I make the call. We're in position. We have the option of what to do on the river depending on what he does. The river brings out the 8 of clubs. The original flush draw gets there. The straight was always there. My opponent checks on the river. At this point, I feel like I'm not beating much if I bet and he calls. I decide to also check. My opponent flips over one of the few hands that we beat. He had ace king. I flop 2 pair. We win a nice pot. Did I get the max value here or should I have bet on the river? A short stack can sometimes be an advantage. I'm under the gun. I got pocket aces. I raised to 20 bucks. A few players call. We're going to a flop 4 ways, which isn't good to go that many people having pocket aces. I have $300 behind me. This is a $1,500 cap game. The flop comes king, 7, 8 with 2 diamonds. I decide to go all in on this flop, hoping somebody flopped a king and they would pay me off. It gets around and one player decides to make the call. Everybody else folds. We go to the run out. It's the 8 of clubs and the 5 of hearts. I flip over my pocket aces, which were under rep the entire time. My opponent had king jack, the exact hand we wanted to get a call from. The pre-flop action in this hand got crazy. I'm under the gun with pocket kings. I make it 25 to go. A couple players behind me make the call, and now the action gets to the button. The button makes it 120, which looks like a squeeze play. It gets back to me. I got about $500 total. I decide to 4-bet it up to 275, and we got about 220, 230 behind. It gets back to the original 3-better after thinking for a minute or two. He says I'm all in, and we snap call, obviously in a cash game with pocket kings. We're now headed to a run out. The dealer puts out the board, 9, 10, deuce, 7, queen. We had our kings flipped over the entire time, and we didn't get to see what our opponent went all in with. But we do get a full double up, and now I'm back to even in this session.